Brings with it.
30 hertz straight up.
Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Lupus Has No Face, where we talk about real life, real struggle, and lupus and beyond. I'm your host, Savannah Burks, today, and we have our lovely guest, Miss Felicia, is in the building today. How you doing, baby girl?
I'm doing good. Thank you for
Doing
having me.
You are absolutely welcome. But before we jump into it, like, how was your ride on your way here?
It was good. It was good, but it's traffic hour, north side.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I made it. I made it
You
safe.
made it. Okay, okay. How was your day?
My day was really good, really productive. I was working on behind the scenes for a couple events I have coming up.
Can I get an exclusive?
Yes, actually. So right now, Bloom in Business is April 24th. That one is public, so it's not really exclusive. Right now we're working on getting like the vendors and the resources.
Okay.
And then pretty soon we're gonna be coming out with the agenda, etc. But I'm really excited. And this one is the exclusive. I'm working on Sip and Pitch New Jersey. I did mention it
I
at
like
the
the name.
expo. Thank you. It's a series that I started. It's essentially like a Shark Tank for entrepreneurs.
Ooh.
And the first one was January 3rd. It was the same day as the debut for the magazine. But I did mention to everybody when I was promoting the first Sip and Pitch that it would be the last one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So with that being said, the second one is in New Jersey, June 13th. And yeah, we got the venue secured. So now we're going to start, promoting the ticket sales. I got a travel agent helping for anybody from Milwaukee who wants to join us.
We definitely gonna bring that back up at the, towards the end of the show. But I'm excited. I want to know more about it. I'm sure my supporters want to know more about it. So congratulations on
Thank
giving me the
you.
exclusive. You guys
Thank
know I gotta have
you.
the exclusive. So for those that do not know who Felicia is, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your titles
Where do I start?
beyond the titles?
Beyond the
that you
titles. Yeah, so Felicia, who's Felicia? I come from humble beginnings, right? I was raised. Can you hear me?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Tone, we good? Mic check. Okay. We good.
I was raised on the north side of Milwaukee, and I mention that because it has a lot to do with the work that I'm doing today.
Okay.
I've always been ambitious. I've always been a go-getter since I was a kid, and I'm the oldest of 3. I have 2 younger brothers, so it was just instilled in me to be the leader and set a good example.
Yeah.
So from there, I started my professional career. I always wanted a sales job, a commission-based job, because my thought process was, with commission, you can earn your paycheck and there's no cap to it. depending on what company you go to,
Yeah.
what kind of sales you get into. But my first sales job was at 18. I started working at Sprint, and that's when I realized I have the power to shape my paycheck. That was the start of it. And I'm the type that, and I say this humbly, right? But I'm the type that when I learn something and I like it, I enjoy it, I go crazy. And for when I was working at Sprint, it was beyond the commission, right? It was beyond the sales aspect of it. It was like, I can make money for being me. I was sitting there talking to people, building relationships to the point where everybody knew if they needed a phone, come see Felicia. I don't know if you remember Sprint. I
remember Sprint. I used to be with them.
How'd you like it?
I love them.
Yeah.
I don't like that they got rid of them.
Really?
Yeah, I love Sprint. Sprint was good. Sprint was good. You ain't like Sprint?
I mean, I had them.
Well, you worked there. I was just a customer of Sprint.
You know what? I would say like Sprint had really reasonable prices, but their service wasn't the best. So
I ain't have a problem with this.
Yeah. Okay.
See, let me not drop names on here.
Right. They didn't sponsor this. They did not sponsor this. They did not pay us.
Yeah, I had a service that was not so hot, but I liked them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make it short because I still got some ways to go. But I mentioned that because I felt like if I could sell Sprint that didn't have a good reputation, I could do anything. Right. So I ended up being like number 1 in the district for months on end. And I got bored because there was no growth. And that was the first time I experienced men, the way they get intimidated with a woman doing better than them.
Really?
Yes. I went and I asked my district manager for like, what's the next step? I didn't want to be a manager. I wanted to teach people how to do the sales I was doing. And they all laughed at me. So I said, all right, time to go. So I went to Spectrum and I worked for the retention department, a completely different ball game. Like I'm working behind the scenes now, not in front of people. And again, I'm mentioning this because it has a lot to do with
who you are.
Yes. So I worked at Sprint for 3.5 years. I worked at Spectrum for about almost 4 years. And that's where I learned how to retain people, right? Because in retention, you're the last person that the customer speaks with, and they're only calling for bad stuff. They're calling because their bill too high. They're calling because they hate the service or they want to cancel in general. So that's where I learned how to de-escalate situations, maintain composure, learn emotional intelligence, retain the customer. I liked it. I was getting paid well. I was working from home. It was COVID time. But it's like something in me always knows when I have to change, when I have to pivot. And an opportunity came up where I just felt called to open up a business. And I always been a little crazy. It's like
sometimes crazy is good.
Yeah. I mean, it's done me good this far. Okay, thus far. It's done me good. I always knew when it was time to leave, so I started the business. I said, you know what? I got a good resume. I can always go back if it don't work. I started my business. Well, guess what? It didn't work. All right, so I went back to Spectrum, because I left in good standing. All right. I went back 3 months later, and then things were changing. I had to switch it up again. I ended up going to BMO. I took a pay cut when I went to BMO, but it was just I had to change. Like I felt so many things were changing within the company. I got to BMO in July of 2023. March of 2024, they closed the retention department. So it was like I always catch it right on time, right? Now when I got to BMO, it was a real shift. And that was when I noticed, I'm not going to say where exactly because my mom still lives there, okay? But she lives off of Capitol. And I would drive my daughter to my mom's house to drop her off. And I would work at the BMO on 213th and Capitol. And you asked me how was that drive coming here, right? The drive going there, you notice the shift, you notice the change right away. You notice the neighborhood, you notice how it goes from littering everywhere, the bags, the garbage, the drugstores, the liquor stores, the rundown businesses, you abandoned houses.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you go up Capitol and you make it past Mayfair, you make it past 124th and Capitol, you start getting into Brookfield. Then in 213th and Capitol is Pewaukee. You see the big houses, you see the beautiful cars, you see the healthy grocery stores, the vegan everything, the organic, right? And that's just from the outside. Once I stepped into the bank and I actually had access to see behind the scenes of the people that lived in that area, it was like, that was the game changer.
Okay.
That was when I didn't know anything about banking, but I took in the first year to learn everything I needed to know when it came to everything that a bank is about, such as, retirement accounts, how to find the value of your house, how the rich people use the bank's money to invest, how they take and pull from their house's equity, and that's a lower interest rate than, getting something on a credit card. I learned about a lot of things that I was never taught. And it wasn't that my parents, I get emotional.
It's okay. It's okay. What you don't know is what you don't know. So if you don't know something, how can you teach anything? You can't.
Yep. My parents, they did really good. Girl, I didn't know I was gonna come out here for this.
And I didn't have no tissue. We gotta finish.
Jay, we was not prepared. We was not prepared for this. Okay, sorry. Wipe it back up. It just hits hard, right? Because my parents, they did the best that they could, and they did good because look at me, like I'm a perfect example of what they did. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I gotta take this back home. And what I do, I started with my parents. I opened up a retirement account for my dad. They both worked at the same separate companies, right? But the same companies.
Yeah.
For over 20 years, didn't have a retirement account. So I opened up a retirement account for them. I taught them, the stuff that I was learning. And it made a huge difference. And then I was like, okay, let's not stop there. Then I seen all the resources. Remember, I told you I tried to start my own business.
Yeah, right.
It didn't work out because of the resources, because I didn't know what there was.
Yeah.
And I actually opened up a bank account at the time with BMO Bank. And all they did at the time was open up a bank account for me, and that's it. And I walked out. So I found out just how many resources there are for entrepreneurs, not only within the banking industry, but the bank had different partners to help with different things. And I was like, okay, this is the real game changer. And I started a segment called Brunch with Bosses. Brunch with Bosses, it started off, it was just me and Alex, who was actually on the cover of the magazine, right?
Yeah, we was going to get to that, but it's beautiful. Okay.
She's my nail tech, and I started with helping her one-on-one with her business credit and showing her everything that I learned. And she has Salon Suites, and we sat together and we were like, what if we do the same thing that we did for you for all the girls at the suites? That's how Brunch with Bosses came about.
Okay.
And 16 people showed up. All 16 people signed up for the service. And I was letting them know, like, although BMO is a good bank, but it's me. I'm the one who's going to sit here and do the work with you. I'm the one that's going to hold your hand. The bank that I worked at, the branch, was about 30 minutes away from Milwaukee. You got to pass like 10 BMOs to get to that bank. And people were still doing that because it's the relationship, right?
Yeah, the relationship, it makes a big difference. I'll go out my way for a good relationship.
Yep. I go I passed by 5 Walmarts to get to my Walmart. Okay. Um. Yeah. So that was a long story short. That I didn't. I need to start learning how to make that. How long we got on the podcast?
I never,
Oh my God.
nobody ever asked me live. She is funny. No, I normally don't go over an hour.
Okay.
I normally don't go over an
I'm
hour.
trying to get to the point here, but it's
You
like
try
it's
to
a
get to the.
lot.
Who are you in a nutshell?
In a
Who's
nutshell.
Felicia? Yes, who is Felicia without all the titles? Like if
Sheesh.
you
Well,
got
I'm a
1
very
minute,
passionate person. If you can't tell, I'm a passionate person. I'm a sensitive person, but that does not take away from my fierceness. Um,
you're strong.
I'm a strong person, and when I want something, I'm gonna get it. And if I see that there's somebody I can help with something and it doesn't cost me a thing to help them, I will do it. But you know what? Even if it does cost me sometimes my mental health, I still do it. But I'm working on that. We working on boundaries. But that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Girl, I was telling you the whole story. You should
No,
have stopped me a long time
it's
ago.
I was letting you, I was letting you get your stuff on. I'm like, when she paused, I'm gonna tell her.
Yeah. I'm like, how long we got? I was gonna get into how I started the business.
No, not yet. I got questions for you.
Girl, okay.
I got questions for you. Okay, so
Let's do like a go like
you want me to go like this? Okay, cool. Again, this is Women History Month, and this is one of the bosses that I'm highlighting of Wisconsin, so it all makes sense. Take us back. What inspired you to start Felicia's Unlocked magazine as we have here today? So, what inspired you to create this magazine?
What inspired me to create the magazine was I seen a need, and yeah, I seen a need. I was trying to, when I first started Felicia Unlocked in general, I was being pulled in all sorts of directions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting back and I was just pondering on ways, okay, how can I still coach businesses? How can I still do events? How can I still promote other people's events and, give them visibility
Yes.
without draining myself, without stretching myself too thin?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it was born. I was like, let me just do this.
So this was the purpose of giving other entrepreneurs visibility.
Mm-hmm.
That is perfect.
Visibility and resources.
Where can they find this at? Where can they get this at?
So if you go on FeliciaUnlocked.com, you'll see all the locations listed. I will say that we have been growing faster than my distribution has been able to keep up
so
with.
We need to get you somebody that's. I'm gonna flip through this, y'all.
Yeah.
Just to show y'all some of this stuff. This is a beautiful cover. This is a beautiful cover.
Thank you.
So whoever did this is very quality, nice thick pages. As you can see, I got a section in here. Now we are doing that diaper giveaway next week, so make sure you guys come and get the free diapers and baby essentials. And thank you everybody for that did donate and that will continue to donate. We got how many pages in here?
I believe 24.
Like this is all quality, you guys. So she told you where you can get it from. Do you ship?
Yes. So for the first year, the magazine is completely free. While like for the current issue.
Okay.
But if you would like a copy, and I do recommend now that people start signing up for the subscription, is $5 a month. You're just paying for the shipping. If you want to be in the directory, it is $20 a month. You get a mailed copy of the magazine. You get your business listed in the magazine as well.
So if I pay $20, I can get my business listed every month. Y'all better get on it. And this thing is going all the way around the world. So you got visibility with no cap.
Yep.
Listen, y'all better get y'all one of those. And Tone is going to put that in the chat for you guys if you guys want to purchase it. What was the defining moment where you realized your voice and platform mattered? When did you realize, like, oh my God, that oh my God moment. Like I made a difference. I made an impact. I felt that this is giving me the gas I needed.
Um, it was actually before I started the business.
Okay.
It was after the first brunch with bosses. I went to the dentist, and my my dental hygienist was a client of mine at the bank, and she came up to me. She ran up to me, and my boyfriend was sitting in the waiting area too. So he was just like, what's going on, right? But she ran up to me. She gave me a hug with tears in her eyes, and she said, if it wasn't for me attending brunch with bosses, I would have never felt the push that I did. She ended up signing up for a suite with Alex, paid 3 months in advance, and started her teeth whitening business. And I was like, oh yeah, that's
special.
yeah, that was like it hit different because I wasn't going to the dentist expecting that, you know.
You never know who you run into. That's why I always tell people you never know who you run into. You never know who people are. So it's very important that you treat people with kindness, no matter what you got going on, because somebody could be dealing with an extreme emotional day, and you can push them over the edge. You can either make somebody there, or you could not make somebody there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very important for that. So we're going to move on to women's empowerment and visibility. Your focus on highlighting women. Why is it so important for women to be seen and heard?
Well, I want to start off by saying that although it is my passion to empower women, I don't only empower women, but for the sake of this segment and this month, that is what we'll focus on. But I got to say that because I know that there's a lot of men trying to tap into this community as well. And I want them to know that they're welcome too.
You guys are welcome.
Yes, you are welcome. All right. Actually, in June, it's all about men, mental health. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
Maybe a different podcast. But
okay, stay tuned.
Yeah. But it is very important because for a long time, just as long as, you know, as far as history goes back, women have had a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I could never understand why, because we are so powerful. Without us, there will be no man, you know? So to me, it's important because, like you said, kindness matters. You could either, the same way you can either make or break someone's day, you can make or break their confidence. You can make or break what their next move is. So I take any chance that I can get. If I can empower another woman, that's what I'm gonna do.
That is so dope that you're just pouring back in the community, period. And like you said, women are very powerful. We make moves out here, and there will be no men without us. And sometimes it's okay for the roles to change if that's what the household if that's the look of your household. But I think it kind of goes beyond that. I think people are so worried about what the outside people think that their household don't thrive in the way that they needed to thrive. You understand what I'm saying? Because some men and women change positions, and it's okay.
Yep.
It's okay. It's all about what makes sense and who's going to get there the fastest. Yeah. So who go first?
I love that you say that because I've been in a long-term relationship, and he's been a sole witness to everything that's going on, right? And I'm grateful that I have a man confident enough to know when it's 80-20 today, or when it's 50-50, or when sometimes, most of the time throughout this journey, it's been, I want to say, maybe like 9 or 10 months since I've been, you know, full time with Felicia Unlocked. And he's taken a lot off of me to be able to do what I need to do, you know?
And that is very needed. A partner, you know, so funny. I made a post about partnership and love today. Partnership is very important. I think people miss that portion of it. You know, once you fall in love and all the things, that's all emotional. But then what? We got to be
Mhm.
able to grow together. We got to be able to get through this thing together. We
Yeah.
got to be able to excel together. When it's get bad, we got to be able to come up, you know, take time and then come back together and figure this thing
Mhm.
out.
Yep.
But so many people be so quick to go out the door and thinking
And
that
they'll
the
never
grass is
even
greener on the other
know.
side. But you're going to go through something with who you're with, and you're going to be running from all of your problems. So that's a beautiful thing.
You just
Like,
gonna start all over
gonna
and do the
start all
same
over
thing and
and
leave.
do the same thing.
Yeah.
A revolving door.
Yep.
That's for glamorous conversations. We keep getting off topic. No, it's not really off topic, but it's so many different elements to that.
Yeah.
You know, and a good man is very greatly appreciated.
Mhm.
You know, when you're a good man, you are appreciated.
Yep.
You heard what I said, a good man.
Yep. And it's not to say perfect either.
Right. Perfectly flawed.
Yep. Yep. As long as the way that I see it and the way that it's been working for us is we're not perfect and we've gone through so many different changes and so many different seasons where we had to meet each other all over again. And it's like, as long as we're both trying, as long as we both want it, it's always going to work.
Trying at the same time.
Mhm.
At the same time.
Yep.
That's super dope.
And
That's
it ain't
super dope.
easy, but it's doable.
Right. Nothing in life is worth having is easy,
Yeah.
is it?
No.
No, you got to go through the doom to get to the glitter and glam. Always have to.
Mhm.
What does empowerment truly means to you? Not just the buzzword, but the real life experience.
To be honest, like, I never been the best with my words, right? As far
You could have
as,
fooled me.
well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you. That's why before I came out with the magazine, I was thinking of a podcast, right? But I was like, yeah, no, I'm better like writing it down, editing it, looking back at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having some time to think about what I'm writing. So when you ask me like what does it mean, like to put it in words, I can't necessarily put it in words. I can only tell you how I feel when it's done.
What did that feel like?
I'm just use this as an example, okay?
Okay.
But like for example, when I look at the magazine, when I look at the women that's just on the cover, just being able to give them, you know, that spot, like my business is called Felicia Unlocked, right? And I could have been like Oprah, putting myself on the cover every month. But what good is that? What fun is in that? You know what I mean? Like putting them in position, they're already doing the work to even see it, the worth in investing in themselves.
Yes.
And, you know, so it's like, I want to reward that. I want to reward that. And I'm sorry, I'm looking through it. So like this feature right here, these are my cousins and they're not business owners, but they all contribute to society in a way that is empowering. And me just being able to tell their story and being able to highlight the good things that's going on in their life and the feeling that they get from it, that's empowering to me.
It is.
Like my cousin Loretta, she works for Huntington Bank. And Huntington did not sponsor this, but you could go see Loretta. But like for example, she texted me and she told me that me sending her to get the photo shoot done by my photographer and me even sending her the questions to shape the article sparked a whole new confidence in her that she hasn't felt in a long time. Like that's empowering.
That is.
That's
a wonderful feeling.
empowering. Yeah.
That's a wonderful feeling.
It's a good feeling.
I can just see like your smile. So
yeah,
you can't put it into words, but it's how you
it's
feel.
a
That's super
feeling,
dope.
you know.
That's super dope. That is super dope.
And in return, every time that I empower a woman, they do the same for me.
And that's how it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
And people don't like, just real short before we move on to the next question. That's how millionaires are millionaires and billionaires are billionaires. It takes a team to get there. Nobody does anything successfully on their own.
Yep.
It starts with a thought, you know, a goal, dream, and then you start executing and getting the steps that you need. But you need this person to the puzzle. You need this person to the puzzle. You
Mhm.
need people to carry out your mission and your vision.
Yeah.
You have to. Then people is probably not going to stay with you for lifelong, but they're needed for those
And
moments.
that's what I'm
And
learning
you're going
too.
to eventually grow your team. Like I went through a lot of people in my 6 years, but I can say now I believe I have a stern team. And not that the people before them wasn't stern, they just was there for that season. And I thank them for everything. But as of this 6 year to 5th year, I'm adding too. But the people that I have on my team right now are amazing. And I think that is going to be my permanent team. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you're gonna go through, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like you people cannot you can't hold on to a person if you want your
Mhm.
business flirt. If it's not working and that person is not giving you what the company needs, you got to let them go.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because the overall goal, at least for me, is to step back and oversee everything. I don't want to be
Mhm.
in it. That's too thin. I don't want everybody to have access to me. You know what I'm saying? I need for it to be a chain of command. I know I started with everybody having access to me, and I would transition the proper way. But my goal is to step back and let my team run it to oversee everything. I don't want to be in the mix of everything. So
I love
everybody
that.
now, I'm giving them all the tools that they need. They're learning from the person that developed everything. So you're going to get the best. My warriors, my supporters, they're going to get the best of everything. But it's just like I need to step back from my business so I can do more for my team.
Mhm.
And people don't like to release that control.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like my producer, for example, nothing moves unless I say so. But he knows what I want. Like he could at this point right now, I could tell him what I want, and it's like, okay, send it out.
Yep.
My team, we feed off each other, and that's how it's supposed to be.
That's
That's
how it
what
should
you
be.
want.
Yep.
You got to show them one time if they got the love for it, and this it's a fit, it's gonna be easy. He don't gotta call me, you know what I'm saying? He don't gotta do none of that. But we talk every day because we're business partners as well. But it's flawless. It's so super flawless, so super easy. I
That's
don't have
what's
to
up.
worry about nothing. I don't have to question about nothing. But I still do say things. So that's just who I am. Right.
Yeah. I
So
feel
yeah.
you.
But you're gonna find your tribe. Your tribe is gonna find you. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you feel a connection for somebody, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But you gotta try. You
Yeah,
understand?
I'm going through that. That's actually, I would say that I just got over past that season where I had to learn that not everybody that started with me is gonna make it to the next season. Um and I'm learning to be at peace with that. But it hurt a little bit just because I wasn't used to that. You know what I'm saying? I just got in here. I thought we was gonna come up together. But I mean,
Mm-mm.
like you said, like everybody, there's a reason for that season. And I'm grateful for the people who helped me in every aspect. But now I am on the search for a team because like you, like I'm running a whole publication by myself from designing to writing to selling to marketing to reaching out. Like it's a lot for one person. And it's not that I want to do it by myself, it's that I'm trying to find the right people for the right thing.
All you gotta do is try
Mm-hmm.
and put like a post out there. Tell them you looking for employees for
Mm.
this, and that, and go look on their page and see what they already is doing.
And you see, that's the thing. Because and I will I'm accepting internships to give college students opportunity so that way when they leave and when they graduate college they have experience. But I don't necessarily want employees right now because I'm a business coach and I'm working with business owners. I more so want people who have that business. Like, for example, if you're a graphic designer, I would rather contract you so that you can have your business flourishing, you know?
Got you.
Um,
So a trade off.
Not even a trade off because I'm willing to pay for the services.
Oh, you just don't want employees.
Yeah, I'm saying like
Okay.
I would rather use my business to help your business grow. You know what I
That's
mean?
different. But
Mm-hmm.
I can see where you coming from with that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna find them. They're gonna come along.
They definitely
They
gonna
might
come
come
along.
after if they listen.
Right.
They might come.
They definitely gonna come along.
Yeah.
Have you ever struggled with being visible or owning your own power, and what helped you push through?
Um, I don't think that I ever struggled with being visible because I always knew how to market myself.
Okay.
Um, I always knew what I wanted the impression to be
Yeah.
of me, and I always knew basically how to carry that narrative.
Okay.
But there was a point where I did struggle with like public speaking. I'm breaking out of it now, but I was a very, very shy person. I was an introvert, and the brunch with bosses was my first time public speaking in front of 16 people. And it's like each time I do it, I'm still nervous, but I'm always breaking past it. So yeah, I struggled with that in the beginning, but it's like I learned quickly. If I'm scared, if I'm nervous, that's even more reason to do it because that means I'm gonna grow from it. So,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
what
You
I'm
seem
saying.
like a pro at it.
Thank you. Thank you. See, that's the impression part I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're doing a great job at it,
Well,
girl.
thank you. So
You're
are you.
welcome. Girl, listen, they know I be every Wednesday my Invisaligns get changed, so my words may not come out right. But hey, this is not a perfect podcast.
I like
as long as you get the message.
Right. Yep.
Cause I be messing up sometimes. Like I just be being myself. But thank you. I appreciate that.
But that's good. That's good because even though like I know how to market myself and I am essentially in public relations, right?
Yeah.
In the media now, but it's important that I show people my authentic side too. You know, within reason.
Yeah, within reason. So
Yeah.
many people, my producer people I know, they be like want to know more of me, and I'm like, what more do you want? You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like my warriors, I'm very authentic with them, but that's on a different platform, like this platform.
Mhm.
We talk about any and everything because they think that they have to be in a box, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna bring everything to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But people just be wanting more of me, and I just feel like sometimes it's not meant for you to have what you're looking for because you're not who you are in my life. And I had to let him know that like they don't have to know it's not meant for them. It has to come authentic.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? You get the surface is because that's where you're at.
Yep.
Not because I'm holding back. It's just that's where our relationship is at. Now, if it's meant to open up more things, then it will open up, you know what I'm saying, how it's supposed to. But if not, like I don't like when people be like, because it's almost like what's your intentions? You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, business owners, anyways, you have to conduct yourself in such of a manner because you do the wrong thing, you can lose everything. And I think people don't understand that. You know, you won't get no sponsors, you can get blackballed, all types of things can happen. So it's not being fake. You have to carry yourself as such. That's a part of who I am. You understand what I'm saying? Behind closed doors is behind closed doors, is not for the public. You know, millionaires and the billionaires, you don't want to know what they life look like. So let's act like, you know what I'm saying, people don't have real lives. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that was very important for you to say that because you're going to get what you're supposed to get because of the title who you are to me.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And when I say that too, like when it comes to me, I think people see everything that I'm doing and sometimes they forget I'm human. So every so often I got to go back and post something like reset the expectation. Like I'm human just like you. You know what I'm saying? I have feelings just like you. I have emotions. I get stressed out or sometimes I turn off my phone. I do actually. I learned that from Alex. Okay, she's a really good mentor.
I want to meet you, Alex.
Yes. Oh, she in Miami right now. She having fun, so she'll watch back. I'm gonna introduce y'all, but yeah, like she taught me because before I got in business and I was at the bank, we would be working together all the time. She would send me people, I'll send her people, and I used to ask her, what's going on? You don't respond to me. Like, I need you to get better at it, right? And every so often I would have that conversation with her until one day, tables turn. I called her. It was like 3 months after I went in business. And I called her and I said, I remember throwing myself on the bed once she picked up the phone and I said, how do you do this? How do you run a business? And how do you take care of your man and your kids? Like, how do you come home and do it? And she said, remember when you asked me why I don't respond? It's because when I get home, I turn my phone off. I said, oh, all right. So I'm going to start doing that. So I started doing that, setting boundaries with myself. And I say with myself because I'm learning, I don't got to explain that to people anyway. either. Like, I'll just message them the next day and let them know. I'll follow through with the conversation. I'm learning not to apologize for that either, because I'm not sorry that I got back to you. You know what I'm saying? The world didn't
within a
end.
reasonable amount of time.
Yes, within a reasonable amount of time. And yeah.
No, it's okay for you to do that. And that's why I say, and when I talk to my warriors and my coaching clients and things like that, I let them know, like, I will be stepping back, because you can drain yourself. Like, my phone used to ring constantly, and I always felt the need. I would be out enjoying myself with family. I used to feel the need that, because their importance was my importance, and it's not. And I'm like, I gotta stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after a certain time, literally probably like 5 o'clock, I'm done with business hours. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, I'm gonna read everything and I'm gonna get back to you the next day. But
Yes.
how I was doing, you would run yourself raggedly like that
And did.
and stress
Mhm.
yourself out, because you gotta know how to disconnect yourself, because it's very emotional, like on my end. So I operate without feeling, but I can sympathize, I understand. So if I have feelings, it's going to stress me out. So I learned how to detach while coaching and while getting them through the next step that they need. I don't make it my own. I used to. I had to learn not to do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so, it's way better at it. I'm way better at it.
Yeah. I'm definitely picking up on those things as I go.
Telling
As I
you, it's
go.
gonna be your best friend, girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna move on to resilience in real life, tied to the Lupus Has No Face, right? So on this platform, we talk about real struggle. How has advocacy shaped the women you are today?
Can you reword it? How
Yes.
does advocacy,
So,
like me advocating for other people?
yeah, you advocating for other people, advertising. You know how the advertising shape the women you are today, like going through your process. So advocating for yourself, advertising your product. You was a woman, you were a certain type of woman before you started. So how did it shape you? What was the difference today?
So rejection has been a huge part of my growth. Um, how do I put it into words? It's crazy because every season I'm meeting something new. I'm hit with a new challenge. And I know you mentioned the word advertising, right? And when I first came out with my media kit, it was back in November. Or no, October, I'm sorry. October is when I first came out with the media kit for the magazine.
Yeah.
And I put at the end, advertise with us, right? And it was because I never came out with a publication before. I don't know what this looks like. I was going based off of my research.
Yeah.
Right?
Like most people do.
And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to not convince, actually. I take that back, because I'm not in the business of convincing. I am trying to let people know that the magazine is not about advertising. It is about inspiration. It is about showing yourself off. This is, again, a reward to yourself. This is not, because a lot of the people too, like, for example, I had somebody tell me, oh, I get free advertising, or, oh, I got Facebook to advertise. This is not about advertising. This is about marketing yourself. This is about showing the community the work that you're doing, because the people that are picking up this magazine, they're wanting to know, how do I start a business? Or maybe they started their business and they're, trying to make it through a hard season,
Yeah.
and who knows if your words or what you went through is going to hit them in a different way.
For sure.
So I say all that because the rejection part, people not understanding the concept behind it, people not understanding where I'm coming from, because this is something new, right?
Yeah.
It's the only magazine dedicated to entrepreneurship in Milwaukee. It is new. The rejection has shaped who I am today and how much stronger I have to be when I talk about it.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because the rejection, the no's is better
The
than yeses.
discouraging,
Yeah.
the people that go out their way to disrespect or downplay, or even not intentionally disrespecting, but just saying the wrong things that you know you wouldn't want people to say to you about your business.
People don't think before they talk, right? And when people are not educated on some things and it's new to them, they still don't know what to say, right? Instead of
Yeah.
asking questions, they say
Instead of
the dumb
asking
things.
questions.
But I'm gonna tell you, like, those no's, those rejections is gonna be the highlight, because you're gonna be hearing it so much to the point where your heart gonna be so, if I'm using the right word tone, so fond of it. It's not gonna affect you. It's not gonna tear you down. Because for
Mhm.
me, when I started, all that used to make me go back in my bed. It used to
Yep.
make me want to quit. It used to make me question myself. But that's not my target. You have a target audience,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And so at the end of the day, people don't understand. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand. I may be advertised, right, on Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms. I got my producer, I got my manager, I got all of these people, right? But maybe I want to tap into your community. I want to be advertised with you. They don't understand you need to be advertised on all type of different
So many
platforms. Maybe
different
you're
kind
not
of
reaching
people.
who you actually really need to reach, and it would not hurt. So for me, I try any and everything, because it's gonna be that.
Yep. And let me tell you, it did hurt. It did hurt.
I know it
It
did.
did hurt, but it doesn't anymore because
Hello.
Let me show you. You see this beautiful woman?
Yes.
Do you see that? Oh, do you see that? Kanini, yes. Kanini McDaniel. She reached out to me the other day. Well, not reached out. We be in contact. And she told me words that changed everything for me. And she said, rejection is a blessing.
It is.
It is protection.
It
she said
is.
rejection is protection. And it made me, that was it. It was like, that was the instant change for me. Because although I know that, right? Because I always tell people I'm not in the business of convincing. If it's for you, if you believe in it, I can help you. If you don't, I can't, right?
Exactly.
But when she said that, it was like, it's different when you talking to yourself, right? But when somebody from the outside looking in tells you that, and especially somebody who has had a lot of major success by being in the first 3 issues. She, on that same phone call, she told me how one of her, I can't remember if it was like her maintenance guy or somebody called her and said, Kanini, I seen you on the cover of a magazine. And she said, that right there told her, okay, I need to be in April too.
And you heard what I said. I said I need to be in every month.
Yeah. You see that? Because, and it's only growing. It's only growing.
Yes. You never know who you're going to meet. People are so close-minded. They are, and like I said, when we start business, we don't be knowing. But it's very important that you learn everything that you need to learn within your couple of years, so you can know exactly what you want. And when your people come to what to teach them. So your hardest things, like I said, like she said, is a blessing. It really is a blessing. You're going to know your business like no other.
Yep.
You're going to know it like no other. So keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, you're not in a business to convince anybody what's for them. It's going to be for them.
Exactly.
Trust me, year 2, year 3, it gets easier.
Well, they better hop on for within the first year, because next year the price is going up. Distribution is getting bigger, so the price is going to go up, okay?
Hey, I got to lock it in.
They better lock it in. Lock it in.
You better lock it in. Get my whole team on there.
Exactly.
Many women silently battle things the word can't see, like lupus. How important is it to share those unseen struggles? Well, people don't know.
How important is it? I mean, it's representation, right?
Yes. Like
I said, every so often, I have to remind people that I'm not perfect. And I use my platform to do that. I try to do the TikTok and Instagram, but it gets to be a lot. I don't have a marketing manager yet. I'm gonna get one. I might reach out. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out if you don't mind.
Okay. I don't mind.
But Facebook, I got it down packed. Okay, and back in December, I was planning Sip and Pitch, and it was the debut of the magazine. I was under high level stress. I was breaking down every day, crying like nobody knows behind the scenes other than my man. And I thank God, if he's watching this, I thank God for him, because I would have left me if but anyway. So they stole my car December 28th, the Sunday before Sip and Pitch. The Sip and Pitch was Saturday.
Oh, Lord.
And you know what? I said, God, I'm going to give it all to you. I didn't even cry. I said, I'm out of tears. I said, you know what? The insurance got it. I said, you going to do that? All right. You just tested me, right? Because you know something's coming. You know Sip and Pitch going to be big. You try.
That's right.
You know? So I didn't say nothing. I didn't tell anybody my car was stolen other than the people that were close to me. After Sip and Pitch, again, it was the following Saturday. That Tuesday, they found my car. I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad. If they wouldn't have found it, anyway, I don't know who's watching this. But I was mad they found it, right? But at that point, I said, oh, this is a testimony. And I said, okay, now I can share with the world what I went through. And I made a whole little reel about it. And I showed them, like, even though, I'm going through these hard things behind the scenes, I'm not going to let it stop me. And I'm showing you guys by, posting and letting you know that my car was stolen, letting you know that I didn't stop, letting you know that the show still went on. I still came out with the magazine. I still did the event. Letting them know it didn't stop me. I think that's the biggest thing is, again, within reason, reminding people that we all struggle. It's just how you come out on top.
Yes.
Like I'm in mode right now where I turn every single trial into triumph. Literally, like, you can throw dirt on me and I'm going to plant flowers with that. That's where I'm at. Okay.
My hands was.
I didn't even feel it. I didn't feel it.
I'm holding on to.
No, but that's what it means to be an empowered woman.
And that's beautiful, because people think that we got it all together and we do not. It's just not your business to know every single thing, because for some odd reason, negativity sells. But when you're doing something positive and all of the things, people just go right past that like a flat line.
I'm not gonna mention it, but maybe you know what I'm talking about, because you know what I'm talking about. Okay? I'm not gonna mention it because I'm not gonna give it my attention. But what I will say is, I post often because visibility. All right?
Yes,
visibility. I post often. My posts don't go viral, right? I do get a few shares. I have a good amount of supporters. But when something happened that was, in my opinion, negative for me, that got the most views.
Yes.
That got the most shares. And I was just like, all right. So I need to post negative stuff, or
no, don't fall into that thing.
And I'm not.
I thought about it too, like one day, but I'm like, that ain't even who I am.
No, and it's not.
Stay true to who you are, and I promise you, your blessings gonna come.
And it's gonna attract the right people.
It's gonna attract the right people, not the messy people. Exactly. You're gonna get the class people, not the people you gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Running behind.
Yeah.
We got a few people on here. I normally let my guests read off. Tone, if you want to put some of those comments on so she can see them, I would greatly appreciate it.
Excuse me, you're not going to give my job away, because ever since I got a microphone, it is my job to read the comments.
Well, excuse me. He just read me my rights. So can my manager, my producer, my friend read the comments that's on the screen?
I'm blind right now. I can't see. And she's blind, so I didn't want to put her on the spot either. So Dr. LaShawn came in earlier and said, good evening. For those of you who don't know, make sure you check out the newest edition of the Lupus Has No Face newsletter, where Dr. LaShawn was actually our spotlight lupus warrior this month. So make sure you check that out. If you don't have it in your email, that means you haven't given us y'all email. So go ahead and get that to us. All righty.
Thank you for tuning in.
Our homie from Brazil tuned in today.
Hi.
From Brazil.
Oh yeah, we got a person from Brazil.
Okay.
Make sure you get back to him because he still got the question.
I did get back to you. I don't know if it got lost in the shuffle, but I did respond back to you. If you did not get the message, please do let me know. And I'll follow up with you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful.
Kimberly has been in.
Hello, Kimberly.
Love.
Thank you for tuning in.
Like loving everything you ladies have been talking about in regards to it. And people are tuning. They listening to y'all. They like what y'all got going on over there. So keep it up. I'm proud of both of y'all.
Proud of you too. Because without this, there is no me. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people I
am the largest podcasting network in the Midwest. So you know what I'm saying.
He is. So like I tell everybody, I'm the brains and stuff behind the vision and the mission, but without my team, there is nothing. Without the community, there is nothing. So I'm very appreciative. I'm one of those people that pour back in the community because those are my customers, those are my supporters. That's what's making this thing go.
Yep.
And I do not like when businesses or nonprofits or whoever have these type of businesses and they think that they are the prize. No, you are living and breathing because of the customers, the people that we are attracting to. So I thank my supporters every Wednesday, every day. You guys are going on the website, on the YouTube. You guys are all over. So you guys are amazing. I appreciate that. What would you say to a woman who feels overlooked, unheard, or invisible right now? What would you say?
To come see me, but also
say it louder.
Come see me. Come see me. What I do to help with that is start with the inner work. So not only is it business coaching, we are people, so it does start with your person. What I like to do, especially when I meet someone new, I want to meet them where they're at. Like, you just starting, what's going on? Are you still in the 9 to 5? Figure out where they're at, and if I can help them personally, I will. But again, the purpose of the magazine is what I do a lot of times is when I'm meeting these people, I go into the magazine and I look for the right people that are going to connect with them. And it's the people that...
Beautifully said.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to... Not trying,
you am. You are.
Yeah. I am building a community where we all do send each other referrals. We all know that we can't do it alone. We all know that we don't specialize in what the other may specialize. So if somebody comes to me and they're telling me that they're lacking confidence, the first thing I'm gonna tell them is what worked for me is get a photo shoot.
Or you can send them my way.
Okay.
I teach confident class on my website. They can sign up for it.
Period. Talk about it. Say it again. Yes, but stuff like that,
you can
right?
Also send them my way because I am a very, very great person of gassing people up to
I
make
love
them
that.
feel better about themselves. So go ahead and just send them on over here to SNA Coaching. We got them.
And then also too, I came out with, so in the first issue,
like a workbook.
Yes, I wanted to make it very interactive so that people would want to actually pick up the physical copy because everything is online nowadays, right? But there's no fun in that to me.
I like things I can have. I do.
So I came out with 10 ways I unlocked my vision and how you can too. And with that, I'm talking about all the things that worked for me, but I ask you a question where it gives you the chance to put it in your own version.
Perfect.
So I would say start with those couple of things, but mainly I use my network to support the people that are looking for all those things that you mentioned.
Okay. We're going to move on to sisterhood and community. Mm-hmm. You highlighted other women. What does true sisterhood look like to you?
So as I mentioned earlier, I have 2 brothers.
Yes.
I never had sisters. But I have cousins that are the same age and we grew up like sisters. And that right there told me that, you don't have to come from the same mom and dad to be sisters. And just because I claim my cousins as my sisters doesn't mean you necessarily have to be even blood related to be sisters. I think sisterhood is being there for one another in different ways. Like, for example, I have different women that I call for different things. Exactly. And, some things that I can ask them for more personal personal things, right? Like advice on, how they get through a certain situation.
So like I was saying earlier, it's just a connection and a feeling that goes off genuinely. It's nothing forced. So that place people where it is
Yes.
where they need to be in your life.
Yes. And you have to be able to realize that too, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a person, like I said, not only when I love something, I go crazy. And I'm not only talking about business, I'm not only talking about professional, I'm talking about people too. Like I put my heart into everything. And
sometimes that can be very emotionally draining and can be very disappointing.
I'm learning
and
balance.
Because one thing it is that like you may see somebody and you may see their vision and understand their vision and all you want to do is help because you know you can help. But if that other person don't believe in who they are, like you believe in who they are, or if they're not ready for that because of the trauma, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yep. And
because that can put them in a place to where they feel like you are, I'm trying to look for a nice word.
No, just say it, girl. Say it raw. Say it raw. We out
you
the
are
box.
Probably like trying to take something from them that's theirs when you only really trying to help them succeed because you know the game, you know what you're speaking on. So sometimes you gotta step back and let a person bump their head every once in a while because that's not always taken kindly.
Yes. I completely unfortunately, but you know what, it's
and you can't take offense to that.
Yeah, you can't. I learned that too, right? Because I am very hands-on and I'm very passionate. And if somebody comes to me and they tell me, they want something, I had to learn the hard way because I lost a couple of people by being
pushy or
not.
It's not even pushy, but they will say it's pushy.
They will say it's pushy,
yeah. But you're passionate.
But I'm passionate, yeah. So I had to learn the hard way. But again, I think the journey, right? I think the lessons because now I'm setting proper expectations and I let them know like, okay, this is who I am. And you let me know if you're ready for that. If you're not, I'm going to throw the ball back in your court. And when you're ready for it, come and look for me because that's what I can help y'all with.
Easy said. And that's it. That's all. I tell my coaching clients too, because I'm like, listen, if you don't, I can give you all the tools, but if you don't utilize them and show up for you, it's not going to work. So if you cannot dedicate an hour uninterrupted, that I am not the coach for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I tell them right off the back, I'm not even going to play with you because, the money is good, but I'm not here to take your money. I want you to be evidence of what you came out of coaching for me. I want evidence. You understand what I'm saying? So I tell them right off the back, and that's exactly how I talk to them. If you can't have time for yourself, I don't have time for you. Exactly. And I'm not a mentor. I'm not a therapist. I'm a coach. You understand what I'm saying? So we all serve 3 different things.
Yep.
And sometimes people don't understand that. They think coaches are mentors. Mentors are on you. Coaches, you're going to have a session. I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to give you some tools. You're going to come back. You're going to tell me what you, that type of thing. Therapist is, you kind of answer your own questions, sit on the couch and venting and doing all the things. Like it's a total difference. So always be true to who you are. And if it feels right, do it. If it don't feel right, don't. Like that's how it is. And unfortunately being like that, a lot of people is not going to like you, but you're not here to be likable.
Exactly.
You're here to serve what it is that God wants you to serve and to keep moving up the scale so you can help a variety of people. You can have a team that's helping a variety of people and you overseeing everything. That's the end goal for it should be the end goal for everybody.
It should be. It should be.
How do we move from competitive to collaborating as women? This is they be so catty. Like,
yes.
So sweet and cute. How do we move from
Well, so what I will say is I don't know exactly how to move from competing to collaborating because I never been competitive when it comes to other women.
Are they competitive with you though?
I would, yes, maybe. I've definitely sensed it and I always questioned it because like I said, I'm coming out with something completely new. So it's not even like I'm taking from somebody else who's done the same thing, right? For us to even be competition. But what I will say is Girl, I don't even know. I can't speak on the competition
I'm gonna
part.
speak on it.
I can speak on the collaborating part. I can speak on what it's done for me.
What
right?
What has it done for you?
What it's done for me is like I've realized from the jump that you don't need to dim someone else's light to shine. I've learned that the more I shine a light on others, they shine a light right back on me. I've learned that collaborating, even when I was in the banking world, right? I was a personal banker, but when I started doing these events, I started getting a lot of clients, and I quickly learned this is a perfect example of collaboration over competition. There was a banker, another female banker in my branch, and I can't take on the world by myself. And if I did, I would start slacking. That's not gonna do me any good. I would get drained. You know what I mean? So what I did was I coached her and I said, this is how I do this. So when the next event comes, you come ready with me so we can take this on together. And what did we do? We went from 16 people from the first event, me calling everybody every day, to the second event. 55 people showed up.
Hello.
And we had to bring in more bankers because there's enough for all of us to eat.
And that's what people do not understand. Like as far as the competitive thing, like what I do, I feel like we should all work together collectively because all of the nonprofit organizations provide a different service. You understand what I'm saying? We all in it for the same reason, but we provide a different services. And instead of us all working together, supporting each other, bringing each one to each city to just show the support, they don't do that. They want a competition, the same thing. And it doesn't make sense for the life of me. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know why organizations do that. And if we work together, we can show our warriors, our people, how much stronger that we are, and we can get more work done. I feel like the people that's on the pavement doing the work on the surface, like me, should be solidifying more revenue than anything, because the people that are sitting in those chairs, they don't know what's going on down here. And I had a CEO tell me of his own company that he did his own event one day and he did not realize how many mistakes that he was making while he was sitting at the top. So sometimes some CEOs need to come down, really get their hands dirty to understand what the community, what the warriors need, what's now. We get that the research is going to change lives, but how long does that take? We need to have things in place now. People are losing their jobs. People are in pain. People medications are not properly done. They don't have the right doctors. They're not advocacy for themselves. They had not have accepted it, so they're not doing well. They're not living well. It's all of these things that we need to handle right now, not for the future. So I'm gonna leave that where that's at. We're going to move to purpose, business, and legacy. What challenges did you face building your platform, and how did you overcome them? Briefly.
Briefly. I like that. What challenges did I overcome? First of all, understanding what my vision even was. Like I knew I was meant for something. I knew what my purpose was. I knew I want to help entrepreneurs. I knew that that's where my heart was. I just didn't know how to go about it. And I guess I had to go through that season of being stretched, being overwhelmed, to just be able to get to my breaking point and sitting back with myself and saying, okay, something got to change, something got to shift. And just having that self-awareness and open conversation with myself, because I don't care if I sound crazy. I'm going to talk to myself every day.
As long as you don't answer yourself. You can talk to yourself about it.
Well, I answer myself with my actions next,
That's
right?
Okay. That's okay.
So I would say, yeah, just the biggest way that I overcame is by listening to my inner self and trusting my intuition. And the more that I trust my intuition, the more that I went with my first gut feeling, the stronger it's getting, and the more I can trust myself. I can guide myself. I mean, God is doing it for me, but
absolutely
within me, you know.
Yes.
Was that brief enough?
Yes, it was.
Did
perfect.
I get to the point?
You did.
Okay.
You did. What kind of legacy? Now, most people don't even understand what legacy is, but what kind of legacy are you trying to leave through your work?
So legacy is the whole purpose behind this. And it's bigger than my own legacy. I'm in the business of helping others start their legacy. And I want, if there was ever something to remember me by, I want it to be that I showed people that we are bigger than small businesses, that we can make it as far as we want to, and we are the only people who have the power to do so. When I came out with the magazine, I'll say it time and time again because it's my biggest testimony. I didn't know nothing about publication, and I'm still learning. If you look through the issues, you could see the differences between the first issue to the third one, the fourth one. Like, I didn't know nothing about it. And you know what I said? That I'm not limited to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to make it as far as I will. And look, you got somebody in Brazil. He's from Brazil, like the country. Okay, so we already nationwide because Felicia Unlocked magazine. See, we're nationwide, right? Like we've been, or international, right? Sip and Pitch, New Jersey. I'm taking the magazine with me. So everybody from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, whoever is advertising for June's issue, you're going to be nationwide as soon as I land. You know what I mean? So legacy, like it's not about, yes, I want to build generational wealth. I don't want my kids to work as hard as I had to work to get to where I'm going to be, right? So that's part of it. But the bigger thing is leaving something on this earth that speaks volumes and speaks to the person you are while you're no longer physically here. That's what it is.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. We're going to move to personal power. Okay. These questions are going to be some deeper impacts. Okay. Are you ready? No, just
yes. Let me take a little break.
No. Okay. I know, me too. I always have to. But okay, we're going to get to.
I've been holding it for a second.
Okay, so then that means it's on you to answer.
No, I want to answer these deep questions.
Okay.
If Tony want to talk for a little bit, okay, we'll go.
Okay, what is something you had to unlearn to become the woman you are today?
Everything.
Okay, you got the mic with that.
Every single thing, everything I had to unlearn. Like I mentioned, when I say sensitive, I don't mean soft because I ain't soft. All right, there's two different things.
It is.
There's two different things. But like I had to learn that just because I care, like what we just said, just because I care too much, I can't care more than you care, right? So that's one thing I had to unlearn. I can't help you if you don't believe in yourself. What makes you think I can believe in you? I believe in everybody. I believe that everybody is capable of unlocking their potential. Okay, everybody is, but I had to unlearn that I can't be that person for everybody, right? Just, girl, I'm learning something new every day and unlearning and that's relearning.
And that's breaking generational curses. Yes. You have to unlearn things that our parents done taught us because we're older today and it's like, that don't feel right. That's not right.
That's a good one.
Okay. And a lot of people don't like to unlearn things and relearn things. You know what I'm saying? When you know something is wrong and was taught wrong from somebody that you cared about, now you know it's not. So it's on you at that time to break that curse. Yes. That's when you break that curse, to unlearn the trauma and all of the things that you were taught for somebody that you trusted. And not that they was purposely trying to, it's
just what they knew, right?
It's just what they knew.
And you know what? I love that you say that. You are a great interviewer. You see that? You seen that comment? Because it sparked something. Because it's true. I had to unlearn my upbringing, what my parents were taught. And again, no ill intentions, right? It's more so what they were taught. And I was taught, you got to work for every single dollar that you earn, right? And within reason, they are right. Like I teach my kids, you gotta work in order to earn a living, period. Sure. But it shouldn't have to be as hard as it is. There you go. It shouldn't have to be as hard as it is. We can still pass on generational wealth, but still also teach them how to be responsible people with respect and dignity, and not be, you know, these little entitled brats. You know what I mean? Like, we're all deserving of a good life. We shouldn't have to work ourselves to the bone to get that.
Not have to. You know, and just real quick, entitlement. So we have a panel podcast that's going to be next week Thursday, a live podcast. I'm giving away, well, now 4 free tickets, but you got to go to Lupus Has No Face podcast, like, share, and subscribe, and register for the Lupus Walk. Send it to me, and I'll send you a ticket. So I'm going to ask you, what's the difference between entitlement and standards?
I want to say entitlement is more so when people just expect things that they didn't earn or expect things that they didn't deserve. Okay. And standard would be setting expectations and setting the tone, right? And more so like knowing you are deserving of it. So there's a difference between asking for something that you didn't earn and being entitled to that versus something that you know you earn and you deserve that.
So
you
with
know?
that be no, I do. So with that being said, I just lost my train of thought. Entitlement, yes. So with that being said, do you think that some people are entitled?
I think a lot of people are entitled. But I also think that a lot of people do confuse the two.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like entitlement comes from your upbringing. Standards too. It's both. Standards turn into entitlement. That's what I feel. If you're raised a certain way with your moral and values, and you worked all this way to this, I'm entitled not to stand in line. Like, what? I'm not standing in line. I'm going straight to the front door. I worked for this. You understand what I'm saying? Why? How did I work for this? I came here every day. I'm this. I made my connections. I don't get to wait. I don't want to wait in line. So to me, that's people. I'm sorry. People would think that's entitlement, but that's my standard. People would think I'm entitled, but that's my standard.
But where's the line at that you just skipping lines and stuff?
Places that I go. I'm not waiting in line.
But not the regular grocery store. Like, you talking about the club VIP type of thing?
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
Okay. I'm
not doing it. My hairstylist. No, I built this up. So these are my standards, but most people say it's entitled. So if I've been coming to you for over 10 years, whatever, I'm tipping up. Of course, I'm gonna get other things that your other customers don't get. Like, of course, it's supposed to be like that, right? Nail tech. If I've been loyal to you for X amount of years and I'm tipping you, I'm doing all that, and you don't take last minute customers, of course you're gonna give me something different because I am a loyal customer to you. So I feel like standards can be looked at as entitled. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? But that's not a bad thing. It can be a bad thing.
It can be,
but it's not a bad thing in most cases because you paid for that. You understand what I'm saying?
But you know what? I wouldn't even say like that's entitlement. I mean, maybe some people would say that's entitlement, right? But I would say that, like you said, you earn that loyalty. But I think the part where entitlement comes is if you automatically expect that and the other person's not willing to give it.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Difference. That's what I wanted you to say. Okay. When did you truly start choosing yourself? Briefly.
Don't make me laugh. I just told you what I had to do.
I gotta do it too, so that's why I said briefly.
Ask the question again. I already lost my train of thought.
When did you truly start choosing yourself?
When did I start truly choosing myself? When I noticed that I made a wave within a huge corporation, such as BMO Bank. I made a wave and I made it, bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
I made it a trend, essentially. I would say both Alex and I, you know.
Okay.
Collaboration. That's what happens when two people get together. All right. We made it a trend for entrepreneurs to be supported. Right. I started choosing myself when in less than 2 years, I was brought up for a promotion that would have doubled my salary. And when I seen that these people who don't know me from a can of paint, and they don't, because the person who was interviewing me asked me what made me qualify for the position they offered to me, right? It was that interview that made me realize I'm gonna choose me, because why do I have to sit here and explain to you what makes me qualify for the position that I'm already doing? You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't make sense.
It don't make sense. But
So
they do ask those silly questions. I don't understand.
I know. You know what? Interviews are standard, right? But it was just a moment for me that it just all clicked, and I was like, corporate don't make sense for me. It don't make sense anymore.
Okay. What does unlocking yourself mean on a deeper level?
Unlocking yourself means knowing that you have no limits, knowing that like me, like I said, people think that I am crazy, and I might be a little crazy, but I truly believe
good crazy. Okay, good crazy.
I unlearned the bad crazy. And yeah, unlocking yourself means unleashing. It means knowing that not even the sky is the limit. That's what it is. Believing in yourself, believing in, like, when I first started, I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I just knew that there was no way that I could fail.
There you go. Failing is not doing it. You're so crazy. I just made a post about that earlier. I said, just because you something did not work out does not mean you failed. Not doing what you're dreaming about to do is failure.
I don't think anything is a failure. That's unlocking yourself. Like, I could literally, because I have fell on my face multiple times. I've been shut down multiple times. And you know what? That's not a failure.
That's not a failure. Not doing it, not taking a chance of yourself is failure. That's what I call a failure.
Yep.
Just do the shit. Like, my bad, y'all.
I'm like, you can cuss on here? Y'all know, because I've been trying to hold back this. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so we're going to go into closing inspirations plus call to action. If you could speak to your younger self, what would you tell her?
If I could speak to my younger self, I would say, don't be so insecure. Don't be so insecure. You could do anything you set your mind to. I mean, I always knew to a certain extent that I could, just not at this level, right? If I could talk to myself, I would say, don't be careful what you do in the club. As far as I was thinking, if I could talk to my younger self, I would say, hold on to your reputation. As far as, like, I was a little aggressive back in the day.
I think we all were.
Yeah. But it was that alcohol, I would say so. Right? Don't drink so much. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Or drink responsibly. Know your liquor intake.
Yeah.
And sometimes people, I've heard, I don't know, because I don't drink brown liquor, but some people said, like, some liquor make them act aggressive and some don't. So people need to learn what's for them, because every liquor is not for everybody. You got to learn your behaviors and things of that nature. But it's going to take people around you to hold you accountable to.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, back to the authenticity, right? Within reason, but it's because a lot of people know how I used to be, and a lot of people actually still hold on to it, because some people still tell those stories.
But
right?
Guess what? When you own your story,
and that's what I'm doing, right?
There's nothing that they can say that you haven't already told to the world.
Yes. So basically, if I could go back in time, I would just say, be careful, because you never know who's watching, right? But I do think that I carried the right way. I always did a warm transfer into every season that I was going in. That's that retention.
You are not at work. Okay, so the final question. We always love to ask, what does Lupus Has No Face mean to you in your own words?
What does Lupus Has No Face? A face. My bad.
That's okay.
I got to go. I would say, because I have a cousin who has lupus, and if I wasn't her cousin, if I didn't know what she struggles with behind closed doors. I would never know because you don't see it. You don't see it. I would say that it means to me, don't judge a book by its cover.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, we gonna okay. And yes. Oh, see, I thought you was gonna do it. Why wouldn't you do that? Speaking of books, what? Say it.
What do you got back in stock?
He's supposed to
If
say
you
it.
don't promote your own book, what did you just recently get back in stock?
I know what I got back in stock, but because you said it, I just wanted you to finish it. But because you're
what
making
you got the mic for?
right, what you got the mic for?
I'm over here working on emails right now, but
He just interrupted for no reason.
no, I was letting you know. But since we are here now, for those of y'all who have been clamoring for the book, we got more in stock. So make sure you go to the website, lupushasnoface.com, and get yourself your copies of the Living Well with Lupus book. They are available. And get them quickly because they go fast.
Yes, I thought you was gonna say it because I just did a post about it just coming in and me selling so many different books. So I thought you just kind of wanted to say.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
That's why I want you to say it because everybody didn't see the post.
Yeah, those Lupus guy Living Well with Lupus are selling out like crazy. I do have some on hand.
You got one here?
I know I don't have one here.
But you talking about me with the magazine? Wow.
I need to keep them at the studio. I do need to keep them at the studio. I got you next time. So they are on hand if you guys want to go ahead and order those. So if your story could change one woman's life after hearing this episode, what would you want her to take away?
I said it again and I'll say it, or I said it before, I'll say it again. Oh my God. I said, let's do this podcast in the morning. You know that, right?
You did. She did.
All right. Believe in yourself. Take a chance on yourself. No one is going to do it for you. No one's coming to save you. You got to be the one to do it. Just do it. And if you fall on your face, well, get back up. It'll be okay.
Beautifully said. Thank all of you guys for tuning in. LaShawn, Kimberly, Buzil, Bianca. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. We shout out the other names earlier. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to come on to the Lupus Has No Face podcast so we can highlight you for Women's History Month. You blew me away when I met you. I like your bubbly personality.
Oh, thank you. You blew me away, girl. You asked the right questions. I'm gonna say that.
Well, thank you. You know, that's my job. But it was so beautiful to have you here to just teach the people, and I want to learn more. So I'm definitely going to connect you on more because we all need to learn more about finances. So that's beautifully done. I also want to know more about the Jersey thing because I actually kind of want to be there. So if I can put that in my schedule.
You should be there. You should actually be a judge.
Ooh, now you got it on my brain. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for being here. You're such a wonderful person.
Thank you. Thank you.
All of the things that you need to get in touch with Felicia will be in the comments. Please do sign up for this magazine. She might be doing a special. Who knows? You guys gotta go on the website or contact her. And as you know, that I am live every Wednesday at 6:30ish. 6:30ish. If you did not catch this from the beginning, please go to Lupus Has No Face podcast and watch it from the beginning. While you're there, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, love you for free.